Steelers fans, welcome to another Call Sheet Breakdown. This is Coach Kevin Smith with you. If you get a chance, follow us here at Coach's Call Sheet and at KT Smith FFSN. Those are both my Twitter accounts, Coach's Call Sheet and KT Smith FFSN. And like or subscribe to us here at the SCN YouTube channel. That would really help things along as we continue to try to grow our venture here on the Fans First Sports Network. All right, today we're taking a look at Keeanu Benton, who, as the caption here says, is he going to become the Steelers' next great defensive lineman? Pittsburgh was noticeably quiet in terms of addressing the defensive line this offseason, and that may be because they feel with the veterans that they have returning, Cam Hayward, Larry Ogunjobi, some of the depth pieces they've added like Dean Lowry and re-signing Montravius Adams, combined with Benton's growth, the fact that Benton may be the next great Steelers defensive lineman, Pittsburgh feels pretty good about that unit. So let's take a look at Benton. Let's break down his film and let's see why the Steelers are so optimistic about the young defensive tackle. All right, for this breakdown, we're taking clips from Pittsburgh's Week 10 victory over Green Bay last year, a game where Benton played the largest number of snaps to that point in his career. It was a force really in this game, even though he didn't have a ton of recognition on the stat sheet. You'll see with Benton, he does a lot of little things that, again, don't show up in the stats, but really impact the game. One of the things that jumps out right away when you watch him play, his hands. Hand play is so important to any lineman, anybody in the trenches. You got to be able to win inside leverage, get an opponent's hand off you. And that's something that Benton does extremely well against both the run and the pass. This is a wide zone run from Green Bay. And watch Benton here. He's down to the bottom of the screen, circled right there. And this is going to be zone left. So all these Green Bay blockers are going to zone to the left side. And the running back's going to start left and now try to cut up the field. Benton's got to beat the block of the guard right here, right? So this is here's the guard, and this guard is going to reach Benton to the left. And he's got to be able to beat that block over the top. He's got to be, but then as he beats it over the top, he can't just get washed out of the play. He can't let that guard just wash him down the line of scrimmage and let the back cut it right back up in here. So he's got to not get reached, but then he's got to hold his ground. And as you're going to see here, he does this wonderfully. Watch him use his hands exceptionally well, fight off the block, make the play. All right, let's go back and take a look here. Right? Again, hand play is so important in the trenches. And right there, I'll go back just a hair on this one. Look at the extension that Benton gets. He makes good contact, right? Wins contact, right? He gets first contact in there. And then as the guard tries to wash him, he creates separation right there. That's really where the rep is won. All right, right here. Look at that. That separation that he's created there, you see him kind of jolting the guard backwards. Look at 76. His pads are vertical. Well, Benton's got a really good lean there, and that lean is going to allow him to shed this block and then be able to play off the blocker and make the tackle. This is a really good rep for Benton, and you see a lot of this on his tape. Benton's also a strong player in the trenches. He plays with really good leverage. He gets under the pads of blockers, and that allows him to anchor in. Watch him on this play. This is like a GT counter here by Green Bay. They're going to pull their guard to kick here, and they're going to pull the tackle and wrap around, and everybody else is going to block back. And this guard, 74 here, is going to block down on Benton, right? This is Benton here on the nose, and he's going to have to anchor in. The running back is going to start this play to the left and then look to cut up. And as the edge player, Alex Highsmith, man, he does a really nice job coming off here to meet the puller and spill this thing and force it back inside. And you'll see as he forces it back inside that Benton is able to anchor in here and make a really nice play. He doesn't get moved. Look at him anchor his feet, his hips. He wins that leverage underneath the pads. Look at the contact right there. If you look at him right here, he's winning this rep already. He is underneath the pads of the left guard of Green Bay, and his hands are inside. And when you win both vertical and horizontal leverage, you're going to win the rep. You're not going to get moved. And that's exactly what happens here as the guard is going to try to wash him. And really, Green Bay is going to try to create a seam right here for the back. But again, Highsmith's going to do a nice job spilling this play. or caging it, I should say. He's going to force the puller to a point where the back's got to cut it back up inside of him, and then Benton just anchors in, man, and really digs in and is able to make that tackle. This is a great rep that really showcases Benton's strength and leverage. The one area where I do think Benton has to improve as a run defender is against double teams. And that's a hard skill to learn, especially at the NFL level. You'll see here, this is just the old school duo play, one of my absolute favorite plays in all of football, old power run concept. And Benton's going to draw a double here from the guard and the center. Everybody else is going to kind of block down as they're going to try to get to the backers there, and the back just up inside. And, watch Benton. Ideally, you want him to be able to get low pads and try and split this double. Turn his body a little bit, dip and rip, whatever he can to split the double team. But he's not able to do that. He tries to fight the leverage, and he just stays high as a result of that. Like, really, man, as this double begins, see right here, look how high he is. I mean, at the moment he recognizes the double, like at this point, he's got to recognize the double team. The moment he recognizes it, he wants to drop his hips, widen his base, drop anchor, and then dip and rip and try and split those guys right there, man. Try and split that little seam right in between those two blockers. That's hard to do in real time, obviously, but it's a skill he's going to have to learn because you don't want to get driven off the ball 5-6 yards here. I mean, he really gets taken for a ride, so much so that he's actually knocked back into his linebacker, Mark Robinson, there. So improving his skill against the double team will be an area of growth for Benton in his second year. Where Benton is most exciting, though, and where I think his potential is almost limitless, is as a pass rusher. His quickness off the ball, and again, his hand play is absolutely exceptional. He might have as good a club arm over move as any interior defensive lineman in the league already. Maybe Aaron Donald was the master of it, but Aaron Donald has retired. So watch Benton. This is a phenomenal move here. Here he is lined up on the inside shade like a 2-eye on the guard. And he's going to cross the face of the center here, rushing quarterback Jordan Love. And you're going to see the club move and the arm over. And the suddenness and the violence with which he does this is special. Watch him get off the ball, club with the right, arm over with the left, create the pressure. This should be a pick. Right? I mean, that ball is thrown right to the Steeler defender in the end zone, and it's all created by Benton's pressure. And again, this doesn't go in the stat sheet, but it's Benton creating the bad throw by Jordan Love with just boom. Look at the rip, right? You can see. I kind of slowed it down for you, try to help you see it a little bit, but you can see that he gets into the rib cage of the center there, and now he's in the process of violently bringing that left arm over, and now he's going to come down and through, rip the elbow through, and that's going to let him get vertical and get to Jordan Love. I mean, really, it's just a brilliant move. I love how he hooks, once he gets the arm over, he hooks the lineman to allow himself to actually push off and get some momentum there. And you're going to see him use this move repeatedly as the tape plays. I'll show you a couple more clips right after this one where he uses it effectively as well. So we mentioned the club arm over. Here it is again. Watch this one. I love this one because, again, he doesn't get credit for sacks. He doesn't show up a lot in the stat sheet in this game, but watch the pressure he creates here with the vicious rip. Now the guard's got to come off on him, and that forces the tackle to have to handle the edge player one-on-one, right there, man. You see the guard come off. And that allows the tackle to get penetration and get to the quarterback. So it winds up being the defensive end sack, but it's obviously Benton's pressure that creates it. Here it is again, man. Look at that. Look at that right there is the key, man. This guard now has to come off onto Benton, and then boom, there's the straight line for Armon Watts right to the quarterback. And you see a lot of that in the film, a lot of examples where Benton is creating the pressure that other players clean up for. And this move, man, that club arm over is often the reason. Watch him on this one. He's going to use the club arm over to get penetration. Again, this one is going to take 3 blockers, right? The center here, right? Here's Benton there. The center, the guard, and the running back. All 3 of these guys are going to actually have to converge in order to keep Benton from getting to Jordan Love. Club arm over, penetration. You see 3 guys on him. And then Love's got to scramble out of the pocket and just throw the football away, man. This is awesome, right? Here's about to create the penetration. Now you see the guard slide over. And again, man, you got all three dudes on him. You got guard, center, running back, and Jordan Love is with his eyes now already having to move off of his receivers down the field. Right now you see Love, he's already looking for escape routes, and out he goes and throws the ball away. So again, man, doesn't show up as a sack, but it's another huge impact play by Benton using his signature move. I've shown you all these near misses. I might as well show you his one sack of the year. He only had one sack on the season. And like I said, I think his numbers will get significantly better. But it comes using his signature move against the Raiders. He's right on the nose here, and this will look familiar to everybody as you watch it. His numbers are going to grow as he really learns the nuances, the ins and outs of how different linemen play, what kind of protections they're going to use against him. This is awesome. I mean, look how fast he is off the ball, how violent he is. I love the celebration at the end. A lot of near misses in the sack department for Benton, a lot of pressures that helped other guys collect numbers. He's going to wind up benefiting from his own skills this coming season. So in Keeanu Benton, the Steelers have a potential star player, a guy as Cam Hayward ages, who's likely to step into his role as the leader on that defensive line, as the most impressive player on that defensive line. And he's probably the biggest reason why Pittsburgh didn't really address the defensive line significantly in the draft or in free agency. That when you put Benton into the lineup with Ogunjobi and Hayward, that the Steelers feel really good about that threesome. So I think Keeanu Benton is a guy to really watch for in 2024 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. All right, it's Kevin Smith with another call sheet breakdown. We'll be back again shortly.